She continuously posted videos for
51 days.
51 days.
Every day.
Video in the social media,
Thank you.
So basically, I don't know how this much committed a person can be. I cannot even imagine that, even though I have a YouTube channel. So, without making further delay, let's move to the session, and I would request you to give a detailed introduction about yourself.
Thank you.
And these all are the top level managers of Hotpack. I'm
Lovely.
sure that half of the people are here and half is not there because of maybe some other reason. There are some meetings or traveling.
Yes, they will come.
Yeah.
They will come.
Okay.
No
Anyway, we are
issues.
recording the session, so we'll be sharing it. Thank you very much. Now,
Thank you very
Ruqya.
much, Faisal, for the opportunity. And thank you, everybody, for your time and energy that you are investing in the conversation today. Faisal told me we are today talking about leadership mindset. And I said, in leadership mindset, a smile has to come into place. So give me a raise of hands if you feel a smile is important when it comes to leadership. I see 2 hands, 3 hands of awesome. So we have the right people in the room. So a smile. Very simple, right? So, am I here to teach you laughter yoga? Am I here to teach you how to smile? Not really, because my smile has 5 steps to it. And there's a journey to how I came about it. How many of you here like to travel? I do. Okay, we all do. Anyone's been to Bali? Okay, she has. Anybody else? No. So, you've been to Bali. Have you been on the Batur sunrise trek? You have? Yes. Awesome. So, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't, I will take you along with me to the Batur trek. This happened in 2018, pre-COVID. The times were very different. Husband and I, we went on this trek. It's called the sunrise trek, which means the driver picks you up from your hotel, you go to the base of the mountain, and from there you start climbing, you reach all the way up, and you see the sun come out, right? So we're all excited. I tell my husband, this is what I want to do in Bali. And he says, yes, let's do this, because he probably thought it was cheaper than shopping. That was a joke. So we go there, we start trekking. But remember, I'm a Dubaiite. The only walking I do is I take my car, I park it in front of the mall, and I start walking. That's pretty much what I do as in terms of exercise. So you reach at the bottom of the mountain. It's 1,717 meters high. And the trek is a spiral. It's a volcanoes mountain. So the rubbles keep falling off. You need to keep going. It takes 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours to do it. And the sun is out by 6. Yes, 6. It's out by 6. So we start walking. And I know this is the goal I want to reach at. And often as leaders, that's where you want to take your team. That's where you want to go. But sometimes you're not prepared. Sometimes your team is not prepared. Sometimes you don't have the right people with you. Well, I was lucky. I had my husband with me. So he was carrying the entire big backpack with all the things in there. The camera, the tripod, the possible slippers, a bed sheet to lay out, all of it. And he kept walking with me. 10 minutes into the walk. 15 minutes into the walk, and I'm already tired. Remember, it was a 3-hour, 4-hour trek to do. Sometimes our journeys in leadership are way fetched, far-fetched, and we begin to tire out in the onset itself, right? We kept struggling. I kept struggling. I kept seeing others making progress. I kept seeing people taller than me, shorter than me, more healthier than me, older than me, younger than me, making progress. And there I was, struggling. So the question I ask you, and I've given you pens and papers to write down, where within your space of influence as a leader might you be challenged? Might you be feeling a bit of a struggle? You feel free to write down. Where could it be? And this could be personal or professional. Choice is yours.
Now again, what is the question?
The question is, where within your circle of influence as a leader are you feeling challenged? Because for me in that moment, I could see that I needed to reach the top. However, I was struggling. So, all right, I see a few more people writing in, so I'm just going to respect that. Research shows that people generally remember 10% of what they read, 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, 50% of what they see and hear, 70% of what they say and write, 90% of what they do. So it's all about doing. Why did I ask you to write down? Because there would be a 70% retention in terms of what you're writing down. So during the course of this session as well, if there's something that I say to you and it sticks out and you say, hey, that was interesting, then please write it down so that it stays with you. As leaders, when you onboard somebody, you always get into a contract. So the contract that I would like to make with you is 100% honest participation. Because when you participate, when you engage, when I ask you a question and you are open and honest enough to share, that's when the clock starts ticking. That's where everything starts shifting. And then that's where you get value for your time. And I feel like, yes, I delivered a smile. So do we have a yes on that? Yes? Thank you. So prior to being a smile strategist, I was titled a wordsmith. I like giving myself titles. So I was a wordsmith. Can anybody guess who could be a wordsmith? A wordsmith. Remember the contract we were on?
Somebody who's in words.
Excuse me?
Somebody who's proficient in using different words.
Okay, somebody who's proficient in using different words.
Crosswords.
Someone who's I never got that one before. All right then. Anybody else? One last one. Ladies, the men are taking over.
Poets.
Excuse me?
Poets.
Okay. All of it kind of is true. I do use a lot of words. I don't solve crosswords. Poet, I have been as a child. I was a lonely single child, so I used to write poetry. However, when I call myself a wordsmith, it means I work with words. So my career started in 2000, August 21st, 2000, as a writer for Gulf News. I still contribute as a freelancer, but now I've segued into the spoken word, world of words. So I come from the world of words. I'm a wordsmith. I use my words effectively, and I am a master practitioner of NLP. So given that we are in a training room, I'm sure you've had a lot of trainers who've spoken about NLP. It's nothing new to you, I'm assuming. However, for those who may not know, NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. And what that means is the words you use, the language you use, impacts the neuroconnections, the thoughts that you have. And that in turn results in the impact that you see. That in turn delivers the results that you get in life. So for instance, a simple example, if you're constantly complaining about something, you're going to constantly have that negative chatter in your mind, and you're constantly going to have more reasons and more results that will lead you to complain further. However, the same situation, someone else could choose to see the lining on the dark cloud, the silver lining, and say, I'm grateful, right? And when somebody is grateful, obviously the mindset is very optimistic and positive, and that leads to more of positive impact, results, and conversations. So as Faisal introduced me, this was where I started with my daily videos on Facebook. Yeah, it was on Facebook where I started on 1st of May 2018, and I started in 2018, and I stopped doing those videos on 30th of July 2022. 4 years at a stretch, every single day without a pause, 1,551 days. So, remember I was there struggling in Bali, base somewhere in the middle. I looked up and I saw this, what looked like, a line of lights going up. And you probably are recalling what it was. I looked at the guide. I'm still breathless, and I say, what's that? And he says, that's where you have to go. Because those were torches that people were using to go up. And I'm like, oh, that's so tough. I started my daily videos at a time where I felt absolutely stuck. Master practitioner NLP, had done a TEDx talk in 2016 on the art of possibility. I was beginning to make an impact, and then life had plans. My children left for university, and I also lost Papa at the time. So 3 blows back to back, 2 children leaving, and also my father, my pillar of strength. I found myself in the darkest hole of my life, and I needed to find a way out. I wasn't ready. And sometimes what happens is when you're not ready, God sends somebody who will knock at the door and say, what are you doing with your life? For me, that person was my son, my 18-year-old son, who looked straight at me one fine day and said, so Ma, what have you been up to? He's looking down because he's a lot taller than me. I looked at him and I said, I don't feel like doing anything. Right? Sometimes when you're struggling, you don't feel like doing anything. He said, all of that is fine. What about accountability? What about accountability? Sometimes as leaders, you have a task to complete and you have a team with you. And the thing that you really have to consider is accountability. Accountability for your team, accountability for your results, and accountability for your own self-satisfaction, right? Right? So that's where I started my daily videos. To answer Faisal's question, I don't know how somebody can be so committed. My commitment was, what's that one thing I can do? Because I was struggling. What's that one thing I can do to get out of bed and wash my face and literally face the world? So I started the daily videos. We reached the top of the mountain, and this is what I saw. It was a cloudy morning. There was nothing to see. All clouds all around. And all disappointed people, all those tiny torches that had reached the top before me, all disappointed because there was nothing to see. And the guides were feeling, very guilty and disappointed. And they said, ma'am, if you had reached, and if this, you could see, you can see the mountain over here. There's a crater, and then there's another Mount Ayug that is right in front, and there's a lake in front over here, and the sun comes out from here. And I'm like, This is what I'm seeing. Sometimes you get your results and yet it doesn't deliver. Anyone's been there? You've put in all your effort, you've put in everything, you know this is the moment, and yet, right? Sometimes that happens too. So what do you do? I would like for you to stand up. And as you stand, I want you to raise your right hand. Bring it forward. This is exercises in school, remember? So you're like a tree now. Your feet are planted and your feet are not going to move. You're going to move only waist up. So you will turn to the right as far as you can go. As far as it's comfortable, just stretch and make a mental note of how far you went. Okay? Feet don't move. Najiba, you're moving your feet. You're a tree. All right. Once you're done, please step back and take your seats. Now I'll tell you why we did this towards the end of the session. You cheated. She cheated, right? Ah. So you just have to plant your feet to the floor and just like that. Right? So what I did was, standing over there on top of that mountain is, I smiled. And sometimes that's all you can do, right? When you're in a tough situation, sometimes just smiling takes the stress off. So I smiled. Because I believe that you can move, and this is something very important, you might want to write it down. You move from a negative situation to a positive situation using gratitude and acceptance. So you move from a negative situation to a positive situation using gratitude and acceptance. How many of us here know about gratitude? When I say gratitude, right? So growing up, we're all taught about gratitude, right? Say thank you to the auntie, she got you a gift. Be thankful in your situations. You should never, be rude. We're all taught that. How many of us here have been taught about acceptance? By anybody? You have been. How have you been taught about acceptance? Do we have a mic?
My father, he says that, you accept people, you cannot mend people like this, like you cannot bring. You accept them as they are, and then, you can just advise. That's how he has given me advices.
Beautiful. So acceptance is about taking people as they are, right? Thank you for sharing. Yes, please.
Don't ask more that people can do, especially people around you.
Right.
Or interacting with. So don't expect everybody is the same and everybody can do different targets, at least in attitude and activities.
Okay, love it. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, please. I'll take that. Yes, please.
Yeah. For me, acceptance, the way I look at it is accept the way I am as an individual, like with all my shortcomings and so on. So sometimes we feel that we've done something wrong. Sometimes we feel that like something has gone wrong with us. We didn't do the right thing and all. So it's a kind of affirmations which I try to do that I accept my own personality as I am.
Love it.
So this is what.
Thank you. Anybody else? One last hand. Okay, I guess not.
Is it
Yes.
a kind of passiveness in the person? Here, this the person is more of passive. He's not challenging the situation and come out of the negative experience.
Okay.
We can take the negative experience as a learning,
Yes.
and we can get over that
Mm-hmm.
and go to the positive experience.
True.
Especially the business leaders, they may fail many times,
Right.
but if they accept and they will accept as it is,
Mm-hmm.
then they will not progress.
Right.
But other than that, if they found if you found a negative experience, we fight against that and go to next level.
True.
That's the way build progress, right?
Absolutely. Now, what I'm saying when it comes to that is, I'm not asking you to be passive. What I'm saying is not to be in friction.
And then I redo it, and then I give an attention to one particular thing which that's how I prioritize and I be calm. Basically, I'm also a very calm person and I'm very positive. So that's how.
That's why you said So do you observe that somewhere you also silenced your mind? Yes. Right? That was the first time. You silence the mind and you move forward towards managing your attention. A simple example. I'm a mother of two. My children, as I said, I'm off to university. They are studying in Australia. Now, when I call my kids and they don't answer the first time, well, it's okay, maybe they're busy. Second time, they did not see the first call. Third time, oh my God, I hope they're fine. Fourth time, I am in panic. And that happens, I'm sure, even at work, right? You're working towards something, things are going on, and then you're constantly in a place of panic. Instead of that, if I could take that opportunity to just silence my mind, focus my attention on maybe they're busy with something. Maybe they will call me back later, just calming down instead of thinking negatively, right? So I'm going to do a small exercise. I might need IT support on this. Yes, I will. I need to play this video. Can I? Yes, please. Sorry.
This is a video.
Yes, it's a small video, very small video. And the, yeah, please. Right? You just have to count how many times the players play white passing the ball. How many? 15, okay. So?
I used to 17.
17, okay. Did you notice anything else? Anybody noticed anything else?
Yeah, the
White playing with white and black.
Black were playing, but we didn't count.
Okay, you didn't count. And
And the black.
Something here, someone
the gorilla passed by. Yes, did you switch it off? Okay. How many of you noticed the gorilla?
Yeah.
You did. Did you notice the gorilla, the 15? Yes, you noticed it.
I noticed it, but I didn't count it.
You didn't count, okay.
No multitasking.
Excuse me?
You say no multitasking.
No multitasking, yes. Focus. Alright. Okay, watch again. How many of us missed the gorilla?
Wow, I did not see it.
Yeah. Because sometimes you're focusing so much on one thing that you're missing out all other possibilities, right? So manage your attention. Did you see the gorilla? Faisal, did you see the gorilla? There he is.
Actually, your mind can't do two things, right?
It can do two things if you just have to train it. So how many of us here noticed the gorilla?
Easy for the ladies.
Again, silence the mind. Thank you for sharing. So, not really easy for ladies. It's also men, but that's the whole thought process.
They do multitasking.
They definitely do much. We definitely do.
We are doing same job, the same different job, the same.
Yeah.
As while driving, while driving, all your planning is happening while
Well,
you are driving,
exactly.
and you are talking to someone while you are driving.
Yes.
There are a lot
Yes.
of things around this. We are.
See, but there is a difference. Like when you're driving, maybe when you learn to drive, your attention. So as you become a very good driver, your less effort is needed to drive. Then you can, have you drive your concentration.
Exactly.
Now in this action, you can't do that because you're asked to count in a. So if you're focusing on counting, very difficult to get there.
Absolutely. It's about training the mind, as I said. So I was just about to say the same thing. When you're learning to drive, when you're just a new driver, you don't want to look off the screen. But as you become more and more in flow with it, then it becomes very. Will take care. Yeah, exactly. So it's about managing your attention. Any things, any thoughts coming up in the room that anybody would like to share? Yes, yes.
I'm not comfortable actually with what I'm doing. The same you said, it's better to focus to one than to have open attention, to distribute attention in different places because sometimes you are losing focus.
Right.
So definitely it's required mind exercise and peace of mind, let's say, to find a corner. And I tried several times and I don't find that I succeed yet.
Okay.
I will keep trying definitely with your square and all other exercises, yes. It is a life exercise and practice only will reach you there, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything else? All right. What do you think would I stand for? It's been a while, I haven't given these so,
Intention.
who said that? You did. I've already given you a smile, right? I haven't? But actually,
That's why I have to watch it.
you have too much
This is
intention.
what it is.
You know every word. Have you done your homework?
He's doing the homework every day.
He does homework every day. I stands for identify the intention.
It's there.
Yes. So identify the intention. The reason I asked you, did I already give you a smile, is because for people who really completely nail it, I give them this, not that. So yes, identify the intention. When you said intention, what actually came up in your mind when you said intention? What was your intention when you said intention?
Because it was intention came in the mind.
And what does intention mean to you? When you say intention, what does intention mean to you?
This is how you focus on what you want to do.
Exactly.
What brings smiles in your face.
Absolutely. So identify the intention. Dr. Wayne Dyer talks about it. Simon Sinek talks about it. Start with why. What is your why? When my son asked me that difficult question, Ma, what about accountability? I went back to the drawing board as a coach, sat down with myself and I said, why must I change? Why must I change? 4 words. And to those 4 words, I wrote more than 200 answers. So write down that question. It's a very powerful question. Why must I change? Why? What is your why? Why do you want to lead? Why do you want your team to do what they are doing? Actually, take a few moments to write down your why as we sit here in the room today. Remember that challenge that you wrote in the beginning? See if you can connect your why to that. Why is that challenge important for you? Why do you want to make a shift in that area? Write it down. So some of the points that I wrote was that why must I change? For me, the biggest reason was my children were observing me. For me, the biggest reason was my children were observing me. Well, that's it. Because as they might have looked upon me as a role model, I had to make sure that they knew what to do and how to deal with loss. I needed to express to them and share with them that yes, the loss has happened. We are strong as a family. That was my why. That's why I started the videos. That's why I started doing what I did. That's why I decided to come out of that dark hole that I found myself in. What's your why? Let's have some sharing. What could be something that you'd like to share with the room today? And let's hear some new voices, if that's okay. Yes.
There are a lot of reasons. So, why must I change? For improved self-esteem, self-respect, productivity, for improved money, influence, contribution, for my health, my happiness, integrity, and adding more value. There are so many. I think if I write it, it will go like
It
this.
will go on, exactly. So for me, like I said, the first few that you write, thank you for sharing. The first few that you write, the first 10 that you may have written in the room right now would just be your conscious mind writing down what it's, what's obvious. But as you start digging deeper, I touched 200 plus points there, and I did that on purpose. So sit with this question, give yourself half an hour, write down what comes to your mind, and as you write down, you will realize some points will get repeated in different words. When I say health, I might say something about my health, and then I might say I want to lose weight, I might say I want better reports on my test results, etc., etc. These all come under broad umbrellas. So do consider what are some things that you write down as you go on with this list. And then just mark out, oh, this is a similarity, this is a similarity. That's when you realize these are the reasons that are more important to you, because unconsciously, as you dig deeper, your subconscious starts speaking to you. It's no longer the mind, it's more on the internal influence that you want, and that comes out on paper. So try that. Anybody else would like to share? Faisal covered a lot of points, but yes.
In fact, it is, I read a book, Wings of Fire by Dr. Abdul Kalam.
Yes.
And, his mother experienced the same thing when Abdul Kalam went for higher studies. Then, his father told to his wife, he is from you, but he is not you. He is independent, he has to go. And sure, he is from you, but he is not you. That could be the experience you maybe went through.
Yes.
You are so attached, but you have to detach to attach.
True that.
That's what I feel.
Absolutely. So what's your why when you're looking at the moving forward that you would like to do? What are some of the whys that you may have written down? Would you be open to share?
No, I can say, mostly, I have to make whatever the changes I have to do to make a change in the people that I deal with.
And how many of you think that would be an interesting point for you to write down as well in your list as well, right? So you need to change. Your intention has to be to change yourself so that you change others. Thank you very much. Yes?
Yeah, it's the same thing, and I'm also thinking about.
Yes?
So, lead by example. So, this is the philosophy, a leader needs to follow actually.
Absolutely.
To take the confidence of your teammate and rather than pushing them to change, you change first, then make them understand that change will help them. So, I think this vibe will be, continuously improving.
Do that. Time for a smile. Perfect. Anybody else? No? Yes?
We have to say the challenge first.
Yes, please. That would be even more valuable.
For me, I feel challenged when I'm talking to a crowd, means especially in official platforms. Like if it's personal, it's fine, but I get challenged.
Same.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, it's the same. I'm not feeling comfortable to give speech public,
So what I think I need to change as a leader, others are watching me. So I need to change.
Yes.
When myself, I have to be good enough to face the crowd. So that's why I need to change.
Thank you so
And,
much.
and there is a good news, we are planning to start Toastmasters Club in Hotpack.
Oh, lovely.
Well, definitely wants to.
Toastmasters Club.
There are many people. No, it's okay. It's okay, I can hear, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling well, that's why. So there are many people, I believe, in our organization which they want to pass messages, but unfortunately they are weak in, holding maybe the mic and staying in front of the crowd, right? And especially if many people are there, unknown people or teams. So I face this many times. So this is it's not my challenge. The same. When I know the crowd, very comfortable. No one's, but
So I think this is the next session we should do communication skills then. Exactly.
We're planning.
Good. So anybody else? What is your why? Because like you noticed when she shared that she's got it on her paper too. So who knows? What you share might actually give somebody else an idea.
Whatever I wrote down is more or less the same that others said also.
Yes.
First of all, one thing that I did not mention, for a better future I need to save. So this was not discussed, so I just wanted to add because there's no point in spending whatever you have. You need to think about the future, not only yours, from your children and the rest. And also to remain positive in life by doing good deeds. Of course, health was already addressed, and there are a lot of points associated with the health that you said.
Yes.
So, which all points to the health or the well-being. So, like having eating good eating habits or go for a walk, things like that. But of course, like you said, making a change in your life to be a change to others, that's very important.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. I think you should all start wearing the smile badges so that I know who all has participated. All right. Anybody else would like to share? Intention? No.
What money we got?
Good money, better? A smile has more than money.
Actually, I have written the same thing.
Yes.
The only thing I can do is change myself.
Yes.
Never try to change others.
True.
That's what I have written.
Lovely. And what would be your intention in doing that? To change yourself?
Because in given situation, if you don't change, you cannot ask others to change.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Lovely. Thank you. So identify the intention. This is so powerful and important. It helps you move forward. A lot of times in projects, in conversations, in relationships even, we lose steam because we don't know what is important. We don't realize, what is the why that's driving us. We lose that momentum because we are not really focused. We don't understand what is driving us, what is our fuel. The why, when you identify, becomes your fuel. You might want to write that down. The why, when identified, becomes your fuel. The why, when identified, becomes your fuel.
Is that something which motivates you or?
My Facebook has got all of my posts. So yes, that is something that I say. Also, when you identify the why, the how follows. When you've identified that this is what I would like to do as an impact, the how follows. The reason we don't have the how is because we haven't really identified the why. And it's almost like sitting in a cab and saying, take me to Ras Al Khaimah. But if you haven't told the guy where you are standing, he doesn't know where to pick you up. Success doesn't know where to pick you up until you let yourself know where you're standing. Right?
For me, I can't work if I don't know the why.
Yeah.
For me, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I'm like very passionate on only if I know the why.
Mm.
And I feel like the things, what has to be done. I like to be challenged. And then that's how I have, in all phases of my life, I have been put into a place where I have challenged and I have forced myself to go to the next level because me basically I am an introvert person. But scenarios have come and I've pushed myself to be not a kind of extrovert, but I push myself to the next extent.
Absolutely. So when I started as a writer, I was a young mom with 2 children. A child who was 8 months old and my daughter who had just started school. So the option I had was to very conveniently put it on the children and say, I can't do anything with my life because my children are small. That was one option, very easy. The next option was I will do something with my life because my children are very small and they're growing up to watch me and I will be the example that they look up to. So that was my why. At various stages, your why will keep evolving. It's never going to be the same. So today, it could be because of your children. Tomorrow, it could be the team that you're leading, the success that you want. And everybody has a different formula for success. Success to some person might be a car that they're driving, a brand, or something that they're wearing. Someone else, it could be impact that they're making. Someone else, it could be making parents proud. Everybody has a different definition of success. So identifying your why, aligning it with what you're delivering, and then moving forward using that is very, very important. And it's beautiful that the I comes bang in the middle of the smile. It literally becomes the balance between both sides of the word. So any questions, any thoughts on I that you would like to share as we move forward? I'm going to take that as a no. And L. Oh, this one. Alright, one more stress buster going on for anybody who can guess what L is.
Learning.
Learning, leader. Okay. Listen. No. Yes? Live. No. Alright. That's not it. Listen. No. Not in my formula, but yes, listen. Okay. Anybody else? Likes.
Listen.
Love.
Love. Okay.
Listen.
Listen.
Listen. Listen.
Lesson. No. But yes.
Live.
Learn. No. 1 second.
Lead.
Oh, don't fall. Huh?
Lead.
Lead. No. Okay, I'll give you a clue. I have presented my Smile session across different countries. So whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Bahrain, whether it's in Oman, Kuwait, Egypt, wherever. You've spoken to. Oh, you have a Smile session. Smaller one. Smaller ways Awesome. So L is where everybody struggles. It's the toughest one. It's the toughest one because people feel that, why should I do this? Somebody else needs to. Right? That was the hint. Think. Yes, let it go. So now I'm going to tell you to let go of the Smile stress buster that you're going to get. No, just kidding. That's yours. You also participate. Shall I give you one more? No, you're good. Oh, you've already got someone. All right. So let things go.
Oh,
It's
really?
the most important.
Yes. I'm just calling you. I think he attended your session earlier.
That's why I asked. Have you done your homework? Faisal, did you tell him I was coming? He's done his homework.
I said let it go.
Let things go. So when we talk about let things go, what comes to your mind when I say let things go?
Don't stress.
Like a negative of taking
Like a negative things, yes, perfect.
This
What
also will
else?
pass. This also will pass.
This too will pass.
This also
Yeah,
will pass.
Take that and give it away. Give it away. Who do you give it to? Let things go.
One more.
One more possible E. We've got E left, so don't worry. One more you can grab. So you said letting go of the negative. What else? Letting things go. What else?
Cast your burdens.
Excuse me?
Cast your burdens.
Cast your?
Cast away your burdens.
Cast away your burdens. Perfect. You said something. This too shall pass.
Yeah, something like this, you know. This also will pass. So if cannot be done, let it go.
So this is what I'm receiving from the group, that it's more about letting it flow, right? Another way of looking at let things go is forgiveness. Forgiveness, right? So important. When I talk in a room and I talk about forgiveness, they say, why should I forgive? It was their mistake, they hurt me. Right? But yes, I see some frowns. What happened?
She said something to me and I have an example last few days, okay?
Would it be okay if you share it loudly?
Shouldn't forgive.
Okay, not into details because it's a
Of course not.
story, but
Yeah.
cutting the story short, yeah, it's a story for maybe 10 years. As me, I'm not changing. I see somebody on another direction, which is mean not a positive attitude and always, with turning back or things like this. So she said to me, if the person is like this, just let it. I said, no, let him be, but I don't want to be like him. I want to be like me. So let him to be. That's why. Let the things go. Next day is another day. Yeah.
Lovely. So if you heard before I gave her the mic, she said it's a 10-year long story, right?
Yes.
So imagine if she didn't forgive, it means she's holding on to something for 10 whole years. So when you don't forgive, it's almost like you're drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That's not happening. For 10 years, this person might not even know you're upset.
I'm not upset, that's why.
No, I'm just giving an example. If you didn't forgive, if you were upset about something. So when I share about forgiveness, often people say, no, it's that person's mistake, they need to ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness is never asked for, it's always given. It's a flip equation. Also, like you said, negative things. When you are in that space of constantly having labels, maybe as parents, your parents might have said something to you, you can do better, or where are your grades, or what happened, or etc., etc. Sometimes we take on labels. I'm not good enough. Why does this always happen to me? I'm such an idiot. We say some things to us, right? Especially when we're challenged. So those are the negative beliefs that could be. Even beliefs like women are great at multitasking. It's a generalized thought. Is there any evidence that you cannot do that? No. So if you just constantly look at something and say, oh, this is how it is, then you are missing out on what else is possible. So letting things go is important. What are some things or habits that you are willing to let go of? Just write that down. What are some things about yourself? You can be honest, and again, I won't ask you to share. So you have it.
Basically, you're lightening the mind, right?
Yes. What are you letting go of? What are some habits you have? You could have the habit of, say, procrastination. Maybe you are constantly, saying, okay, I will do this, but I don't. Constantly self-doubting. There could be people who have difficulty to say no.
I will die,
Yeah, you will die.
So that's like when you're a child, in 3-4 years, they don't think that fast. And that's why once they're at kids, they can do everything. Swimming, skiing, everything.
Yeah.
Jumping, and I'm afraid even to the rides, imagine. So my kids are going to the loops and things like that. Because they're small, they don't understand the danger. So I'm with you 100%.
You're with me 100%,
Yes.
but guess what? I didn't let go. I had to let go. Because my thing was, will I continue to stand there if it's a dangerous situation? No, I will step out of it. So often in leadership, you have situations where you have to take that step forward. That's what I'm saying. You have to take that step forward with trust, letting go of negative beliefs, negative chatter, like the gentleman rightfully said. Any negative chatter that's going on, any opinion you might have about yourself, your team, sometimes in leadership you have to take that step forward by letting things go. Using past failures as reference, not as benchmark. Write that down. Use past failures as reference, not as a benchmark. Yeah. Any situation or any experience somebody would like to share within your leadership, any decision that you might have made that you know, kind of changed things around for you? Anybody would like to share? Knowing this is a safe space.
No, just want to say something. Sometimes you do something against your desire.
Yes.
I mean, regarding leadership, when I've been in army, so I was in special forces, we have training to jump from aircraft 1,000 feet.
Yes.
No chance. No chance. And the leadership soldier, he has to stand on the aircraft, he has to push you by his leg.
Oh. Yes.
The command of the leadership. We stand all of us is scared.
Yes.
1,000 is a dream. No one is not scared because you cannot see anything and you feel that all of us, he told us, all of us will feel this feeling that we will gonna to die. Because once automatic, barrel is going up, he, without any notice, you stand, not look down, not look back, push you by his leg,
Yeah.
go down.
Yes.
This was the most experience in felt my life, which means you don't have decision, you have to obey.
Yes.
That's what happened exactly.
I have similar one with the aeroplane.
No, I tell you,
No.
in the beginning, everyone is I have to scare. No champion in that. On 1,000 feet, you feel it's nothing. But when you feel down, you feel that you will die all feeling.
But what about now? Did
But
you change that?
when the parachute is open, you feel that something catch you, someone catch you and save
So
you.
exactly, did you take this like reference? You know, for coming, did you repeat the experience?
No, I won't repeat it again.
Ah, okay. So, no. I have an example.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I repeat the experience by force.
Okay.
So thing is that I was like 20 years and I was in South Africa working in the Rand airport, and over there they just started imagine so I don't say how many years back because I don't want to open my age.
Yes.
No one knows.
Only you know. HR knows. Okay. So anyhow, that time they started flying school.
Right.
So the gentleman in charge, he said, "Why you are not trying to do the PP and the private pilot? You know,
Yeah.
after like 6 months, it will be good for you. You know, and also it's free of charge, and especially in our country, Romania, communist country, it was not any chance to do this. So I took it as definitely as a chance, life chance. So once we start going, it's KJ, very small plane, you know, 4 seats, instructor pilot. The pilot was actually doing his PPL private pilot. Okay. Between the Johannesburg mountains, the plane was shaking like, you know, like a butterfly, like a paper in the wind, you know. So I could not control my emotions, and fears. I started to hit the instructor and the gentleman, you know, that guy started, please tell her to stop. I did actually that much panic that even I started bleeding and nervous, very nervous, And so anyhow, they put the plane down because it was not any way to give an exam on this scenario. So after that again, I repeat going up in the plane because I need to commute, I need to go up and down. I don't say that I have the same fear, and I'm an engineer actually, knowing technically that is the most secure way to travel, to book, to move. So back of all these theoretical parts, inside me is that corner, weak corner actually, saying that I'm this and this and this and what. So yeah, so I have to travel again. I repeat the experience in the big plane, commercial ones, and touch wood till now everything is perfect. It was good, yeah. So this was my.
It's about to skydive, but
No.
I have
For
done
me,
but
skydiving.
I would say that sometimes some situation you cannot take your decision. You have to adapt with surrounding circumstances, especially when you obligate to do that. That's it.
True. So I want somebody to demonstrate how they say I give up. When you say I give up, how do you say it? Often we sometimes say I give up, right? How do you say? I give up. How do you say I give up?
I don't like this word.
You don't like this word,
I
okay?
hate this word.
You hate this word, okay? He said Khaliwali, he said like this. Anybody else? I give up. Just say I give up. Chhod do. Chhod diya. Okay. See, there's always this movement of the hands. The different cultures, like I said, I've presented this to different countries. They always do this. Now I'm going to shift this for you. Imagine, aksar log when you say I give up, you say I give up. Your hands always go up in the air, throwing your hands in the air. What if after, and I give up often comes after you've tried everything. Like you said, I don't like this word. We try everything in our possible potential, and then there comes a stage where you give up. And you say, I give up. Khaliwali. So when you do Khaliwali and you give up, imagine that you are giving it in the hands of a higher power. Someone who knows more than you, someone who understands more than you. Letting it go, letting it flow. Like both you and her had said, letting it flow, letting things pass. So letting things go is very, very crucial for success. Knowing when to let go, that you have to decide based on silencing the mind, managing your attention, identifying the intention, and then letting things go. Once you've done all of that. Right? Can I have just one more sharing from somebody? She shared about the flight, she shared about the army, anything else within the workspace, if we have an example or a conversation. Maybe that would help the group.
Again, the case here,
Yes.
but we'll have to nominate names and.
Yeah, of course not.
So,
Do I give you this?
yeah, I'm talking again. I told you I'm weak on holding the mind.
Fine.
So,
Yes.
Hotpack have divisions, right? So, years back, I'm talking like 6-7 years, I joined Hotpack 8 years back. So, I was after my 1 year plus. We started this flexible aggressively actually in the market, and we started looking to the key clients into this area. I was having strong connection to one the company. By luck, he was my ex-boss, I can say, in the previous company. So once I reached there, he opened the door, the CEO of the company, just imagine, and I was with my colleague. So he said, welcome, he introduced me to his top team. I said that what I need, he shared the requirements with the screen, everything, so everything, it was an open book. I realized over there that I'm so weak in this segment that what I can offer to the CEO, to the technical director, to the procurement guy who wants to negotiate, if he's telling me example, give me 10 grams per kilo, how can I say no, I give you 9 based on what? I don't know even how much the raw materials are. So exactly, let things go to other teams which there are experts in this. So I passed it actually to the Wayne team, and which now they are running a very successful business, and the turnover is again in millions. So it's very
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what you've shared is the power of delegation, passing on the tasks to the other person. Thank you. So when you pass on tasks to other people, what happens is they realize the importance of making room for yourself, making time for other things that require your focus. As a leader, you do not have to do everything on your own. It can be delegated, and once you delegate, trust the person. Following up, nagging after a person over and over again can sometimes lead for that to backfire. So letting things go, having a meeting point, having an assessment point, knowing that I will assess the progress of the project, say after 2 weeks, after a week, depending on the urgency of the results, and then following up and guiding the person accordingly. So letting things go. Let's do a quick exercise, please. So raise both your hands up and just follow with me. So when I say 1, 2, 3, I want you to clasp. So fingers on fingers, thumbs on thumbs. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, clasp. Okay? Let's do this one more time. 1, 2, 3, clasp. Once more. 1, 2, 3, clasp. Now observe which thumb goes over which one. Right one for how many? You can open your hands. Right one, yeah. Right thumb over the left. Left over the right. How many? I have it. Left over the left. Okay, great. Now what we are going to do is raise our hands one more time, and this time consciously flip the thumb. So for you, it was left. You're going to make a conscious effort to make it right. Okay? And for who it was right, they will consciously flip. So 1, 2, 3, clasp.
I struggle.
You struggled. All right. You struggled also? A little bit. No issues. So what we did was a quick one for him. 1, 2, 3, clasp. Okay? Normal. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, clasp. Loudly. Let's do it loudly. 1, 2, 3, clasp. 1, 2, 3, clasp. All right. Which thumb is it? First, left one or the right one on top for you?
No, left.
On top. Left, yeah. So now we are going to do it loudly. Try to do it loudly. Flip. All right. 1, 2, 3. Did we all flip?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Sound didn't come loud enough like we did it earlier. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Did we all flip?
Yes.
Yes.
So when we're doing something differently, initially we do struggle, right? Whether it's something as simple as saying no to someone, whether it's as simple as delegating, whether it's something as simple as letting go of negativity. But once you begin to practice doing that, it comes together easily. It's loud, the sound is loud, we're more synchronized, the team begins to work together. Last one, because the smile is not complete without the E. Does anybody want to guess?
Yeah. Ego.
Ooh, I like it. If only, but no, it's not ego. Not in this formula, but I like it. Why not? Okay, it's not ego. What is it?
Ease.
Excuse me?
Ease.
Ease. Okay, ease. I like that. But it's not in this one.
Excitement.
Excitement. Allergy with the E. I will take back this Energy.
Once more.
No, I know.
Empower.
He wants to take them all. Empower. No, he actually nailed it.
Cool.
You got it.
I'm not giving you stress busters.
No, she wants one.
Who wants one? Oh, so he's the one who.
I have a cat, so that's why I collected. It's important for me.
Okay, energize the possibilities. When you read this, what comes to your mind? Energize the possibilities.
To explore the platform and to find more, let's say, options to reach your whatever target, personal or reward.
So,
To dig and find the resources
yes,
to complete your task.
brilliant. That's what it means to you. And
More easy way to address the issues.
more easy way to address the issues. Okay. What else?
Initiative and more motivated.
Take the initiative and be more motivated. Right? Anybody else? Energize the possibilities. What does it mean? Motivation. Yes.
Energy to have more synergy.
Energy to have more synergy. That should be your tagline. I like this.
More
Yes.
passionate in our work.
More passionate in the work. Okay.